Bury, I've got Gary Neville, Phil Neville, Kieran Trippier, Rico Lewis, Guy Garvey, the whole of Elbow. I'm the 18th most famous person to come from Bury.
So in this video, we've got Clive Tyldesley, legendary football commentator, and it begins with a lesson. We're going to give him a short game lesson. He's been struggling a bit with his short game, and then we headed out to play 4 holes on the Duke's course here at Woburn, and we've put it into practice, and also got some fantastic stories along the way from his football career.
Let me tell you why the Ryder Cup is the greatest sporting event in the world, right?
Yeah, there you go.
So both Roy Hodgson and Gareth Southgate are people that I'd call friends. Everybody talks about Martin Tyler, Aguero. It's what he said next that makes it great. I swear you'll never see anything like this again.
Oh, Clive.
Where's it gone?
What a great putt. Right, it's fantastic to be here today at Woburn with Clive Tyldesley, iconic football commentator. If you don't recognise him, you'll definitely recognise his voice.
And the worst chipper that golf has ever seen.
We're going to see if we can improve it, right? But yeah, you've had some issues over the years. That's right, isn't it? Yeah, you're saying.
I hate chipping. I mean, I've got a really good friend who says you've got to look forward to it, and I don't.
Yeah.
I don't want to do it. I would rather be 100 yards away than 30 yards. I would rather be in a bunker than greenside.
Okay, so you like the fuller shots, it's the finesse shots, the greenside shots.
Yeah.
And it sounds like it might be in the mind a little bit as well. Was that fair to say? There's a bit of anxiety around it when you're over the ball?
Anybody who's heard me commentate will know it's a very strange mind to begin with, so good luck.
Okay, right, we'll get into it. Right, okay, so we're going to go first to the pin at the back, which is it's a shot that you get a lot on the golf course. You come up a little bit short on the fringe. You maybe don't want to putt it, or you can't putt it because you've got something in front of you. I know you said you like to get your putter out from everywhere, but
I would putt it with a 7-iron.
Yeah, okay,
is what I
fine.
would do.
Well, let's start with that.
Okay.
And then we're going to work on some different shots.
My putting style is to keep my elbow in and just.
And when you're using this putting technique, do you feel more relaxed, and do you feel like your strike is pretty good?
You saw that it wasn't even a good putt. It was no backswing and everything, but I'm confident that I can pop it down there, and I'm confident I can find something close to the middle of the blade, which, I mean, even if and that's the other good thing, that if I try to chip it and I blade it, then I'm taking 8.
You miss-hit that then. If you've done that with the sandwich, it's gone, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay, but I saw a few things there. I have a couple more. Okay, good. And one more. Okay.
See, that's a miss-hit.
So it gets a bit fiery at times. Yeah,
okay?
Yeah. I'd like to see you play with a bit more loft, just so I can see what's going on.
Cool.
And we're going to go to this front pin where there's less green to work with. So I noticed you've got a 54 in there, haven't you?
Yeah, that's the club I should be using. Yeah.
So we're going to go from, again, fairway lie to this pin here, okay? Now, we know we'd put it if we were in a match scenario. We know that, but cool. we're training scenario. So we're going to land it somewhere here with 54 because we need a bit more spin. So
okay,
let's see.
So I'm thinking upright.
Yeah.
I'm thinking close to the ball. I'm thinking feet together, a little bit of weight there, and then I'm thinking out to in.
Okay.
And that would be probably, I'm more likely to blade it like that than I am to chunk it.
Yeah. It's a bit better. So the blading's the miss, when you can also go under it a bit sometimes as well.
I can hit it there, don't worry.
Yeah, you can do it. You've got the
full
collection. There we go. Classic, yeah. Okay. Good. Yeah. Right. So there's some good concepts in your setup there. I like some of the things you're doing there. Essentially what we've got to do in your short game is get the big muscles doing more and get the quick muscles, the hands, doing less. It's very wristy. Now, some of it is involuntary. Some of it is just, there's a bit of anxiety about how the club will interact with the turf, and it's a bit of a movement at the bottom. So we need to understand that. We've got to try and just work on your technique, let the bigger muscles do it more, so it enables you to rewire the brain from understanding that you can trust the ground better. Because at the moment, you've got no trust of the ground and how the club will work. But if we can work on some concepts in your technique and get the chest working more, because there's very little chest movement, there's very little rotation in your action. So, it is all hands and arms. Yeah. You're a good player. You're a good golfer. I can tell that. You've got the feel of the game. You've been in a low handicap for most of your life. So it's not impossible that we can get this. You've just got to have a little bit of patience to rewire it and retrain it, but we'll go through it. So I quite like you were saying about you stand this side here, Clyde. I quite like what you were doing in terms of your setup, in terms of a nice narrow stance. Okay, you've got about one club head between your feet, which is excellent. I would like you to turn this left foot out a little bit. You're very straight with that foot. And what that means is it's very hard for your upper body to rotate through the ball. When you open the foot out, it's going to help the hip open up. So that's a quick win there. I like the shaft being high for you. I wouldn't change that because the toe of the club is a much safer part of the club than the heel. The heel wants to dig and the toe wants to slide. So having the hands higher this way totally makes sense. So we're not going to change that. We're just going to get that left foot turned out. Ball position, just back of centre is going to be good for you. Weight left, like you said, really important there. I'm going to check your grip pressure and how softly the arms are hanging. I suspect that might be a little bit tight, so we can work on that. But essentially at the moment, this sort of, you're trying to swing out to win, but it's sort of the hands and arms and it's flipping this way. So you've got to get more of a concept as to how the hands, the arms and the chest match up and how the hips turn better. The best way you're going to do that actually, if you start, just drop the club down, don't even have a club in your hand. This is something you can do at home anywhere. Put your thumbs together, get your hands back as far as they go and pull your elbows and triceps into your rib cage and get into a nice bit of comfortable posture. And just make a movement back and a movement through and don't think too much about it. Good. Now, that is perfect. And if you could move like that with a club in your hand, you'd have a great short game.
Yeah.
What are you feeling when you're doing that? Any muscles feeling different?
My chipping is so bad that I fear that if I turn, I won't be looking at the ball and I'll miss it.
Okay.
So
right.
all of my concentration is on somehow getting
that club on that ball.
And weirdly, if the club was back there with a 9-iron, I wouldn't worry about getting into the back of the ball. I know I'm going to hit it. Mm-hmm. But here or there, I can miss it.
Okay, all right.
So I don't turn.
Yeah, okay. Well, we're going to see if we can loosen you up. We're going to see if we can get a bit better connection in there. Maybe make you move and turn properly.
Yeah.
You know, versus what you might conceive is correct. So put a club in your hand now and try and move as you are. Now, what you were doing there is your hips were rotating, your right pocket was moving back, your triceps were connected to your rib cage, and everything was just moving together. It was totally connected. So do some practice swings, no ball, see if you can move like that. And I might just sort of persuade you a little bit to begin with. So left foot like that, that's it, very good. I want you to get your triceps like glued onto your rib cage. Doesn't mean your arms are tight, but I want them to be slightly tucked in.
Okay.
Because it's very important when you let your arms hang onto a golf club, and if I let my arms hang naturally, as yours will as well, they'll have a fold in the elbow.
Yeah.
And as they are there is perfect, and that's how they should sit on the club. You don't want to be too rigid and too straight there, okay? So here we go, we're going to make some swings, and this is really going to open you up, but you want to be feeling the connection and how that right hip's moving back and the left hip clears, and how these arms, particularly your right arm, is glued onto you. Can you feel that connection?
Yeah.
It's freeing you up that way. Good. And your initial thought would be, crikey, that's going to go so far, right? Probably because you haven't moved that much. But that would be certainly what we're looking to do. I'm going to move you. I'm going to, first few balls, I'm going to sort of help you. Don't worry about the flag. We're just going to aim for the green. And I'm just going to, so you start the swing and I'll sort of do the rest. Lovely. There we go. Right, there we go. Do it a few times.
And that's the end of the lesson.
Unfortunately, I can't do it in every chip you play. Your playing partners might have a question.
Oh, no.
Right, and again. Okay, now that fired a bit. This is good for me because I can feel what's firing and when, right? We'll do a few more. But that first one was great. There was no sort of right-hand fire into it. So you want to be feeling, in particular, you've got Velcro under there. You are like, this is really glued on, okay? Yeah. Open up left foot a little bit more. That's it, good. Off we go. When you're ready, you start it, I'll do the rest. Lovely.
It was.
Yeah, good. So that is wonderful. Now don't move. Let's enjoy this for a minute. That is fantastic. Now look, chest, hands, club head, everything is matched up. That is exactly. If you watch the Masters next week, that is where the top pros will finish. That is the correct finish position. Okay. Talk about different releases. That's your release one position.
Yeah.
Right. That's what I call a release one. The club head is under the hands. It's low, and you're not firing.
Yeah.
And you're not just staying locked down and using your arms. You're actually got these tucked in and you're moving. This is glued on, yeah? You glue that on. Nice. That's good.
Yeah.
There's no flip at that.
It's going to go in the hole, by the way.
Very good. Right, on your own then, okay? You're doing most of it on your own. Last few, I was barely moving you. Good. That's good. And I can tell is that there's no involuntary movement there.
No, I think, yeah, I'm not even looking at the target. There's sometimes when I get tucked up with my main swing, I actually in the range don't even look at anything other than where and the number of times just by watching me coming in, and it's kind of the same thing, isn't it?
Well, that's what I think the mental side of it, and we'll just stop and talk about that, Clive, because it's so important. I think the mental side of it for you is everything with this. So we've got the technical stuff there. I don't want you to be ball bound. I think the more you are trying to get that perfect strike, the further away you get from getting a good short game.
Yeah.
You've got to free up. You've got to be aware of the ball, but it's got to be secondary.
Yeah.
You've got to focus on what you're doing, how you're moving.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very good. And do you know what I liked about that shot more than anything? It was the noise, that brush. We don't want to hear that bony kind of ball first contact, which you probably heard too much of. That.
Yeah.
There was a lovely brush of the club on the turf.
Yeah.
And do you know what also might help?
I didn't feel like I even touched the turf. I felt like I clipped the ball. It's interesting.
Yeah. Now if you look, so let me just demonstrate here. I think this might help you actually. Could do some good technical stuff here, but in terms of transferring it scores, so we're going to go play a few weather pits in shortly. So to take it to the course, if you have a practice swing, and the sense of sound is like really powerful, like the sense of sound. So if you have a practice swing, and you hear that noise.
Yeah.
So if I was anxious and nervous and I was worried about the strike, and I'm on a golf course, I'm going to have, say, 3 practice swings. Great noise, great noise, great noise. I'm over the ball, and the only thing I'm concentrating on is I want that noise again.
Okay.
And I get the noise and I get the strike. And I think that's a nice way, in a gentle way of transferring it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it's interesting. I don't ever have a practice swing on the course or anything.
Yeah, I always think about doing that, particularly for short game.
Yeah.
Because I'm a big believer in the sense of sound.
Because I'm learning something new, so I've got to.
Yeah. Well, let's try that. Let's have a practice swing for each shot to that pin, that same pin with a 9-9. Have a practice swing and don't go. You can I'll go for one practice swing, but you've got to get the perfect noise. And if you don't get the noise, we'll go again. That was okay. A little bit more noise for me. Good. Right. That's good. Now go over the ball. Think about the noise, nothing else. Okay. We got the same noise and we got the result. And all these things are like mind tricks, really. They're relaxing your mind. They're getting you away from trying to be perfect on strike, and you're focusing on a task. My job is to get the noise, and then let your instinct, because you're a good golfer. You can play the game. You're just getting wrapped up in it too much.
Yeah, no. I'm frightened of them.
Yeah. So again, practice swing. Think about that tricep nicely locked in and how you're moving.
I missed. That's the one.
That's a great shot. That's the best one you've done today.
There you go.
I think there's hope for you yet.
My only fear is it's like when you buy a new putter and it works in the shop, but when you get out there, he's not there.
No,
but I've got some good swing thoughts now.
You did, yeah. No, indeed. Right. So we'll play a couple with the 54, and then we're going to go and test it. Well done, Clive. That was nice. The hair clean, but I thought you moved lovely through it. There's no anxiety. There's no stalling out.
He's criticising the best chip I've ever hit in my life here.
I've got high standards, Clive. Come on. I want to make you world class. Very good. This is the wrong club to that pin.
Yeah,
but that was this great practice. If you can do it with this, with 54 to that pin.
I don't mind being short with this club there.
That was a proper shot, yeah. Now go to this short pin, because this is really where this is the right club now. Great setup, connected. Think about how you rotate. You're just keeping those triceps connected to your ribs.
That's the one.
Well done. Well done. Well done.
Yeah, I can just feel it rolling up there. It's nice.
That's good.
Good. Good. Good work.
Well.
Nope.
Yeah, good. There you go, noise. Right. Think about the noise. Noise over everything. Well done. You got the noise.
Good.
I think that's something you can definitely put into your play.
Yeah, definitely.
And if you miss the first noise, have another go. If you feel you need two, have two goes.
Yeah.
You know, it's only taking a few seconds.
Yeah.
And then it's not like a full swing where, you know, if you're having 2 free practice swings, that'd be quite frustrating playing someone who does that. But a couple of little chips when you're just practicing, and just get that noise, and get over the ball, and maybe don't dwell over it. Go practice swing, step in, almost like it's all flowing, and it's just the mind tricks to get over it. But that was good. So yeah, the main things there: left foot position, connection in here. Trying to relax a little bit, but really having that connection here.
Yeah.
And then from there, the elbows are in and you're moving here to here. And I could feel there's not really any, there's a bit of that on some of them.
Yeah.
But you had 3/4 actually, where there wasn't any. It was just calm and moving through.
Good. Good.
All right. Well,
it's very different too.
Yeah.
So
I like
it's
different.
Take a little bit
I like
of time.
different because different as well. Your mind thinks it's different then.
Yeah. I need different.
Brilliant. I'll fit these up. It's good. Okay, so we're going to transfer it to the course now, Clive. We're on the first tee of the Dukes, you know, amazing, iconic golf course. The home of many a famous player such as Seve, Faldo, Woosnam, Trevino, Greg Norman.
Watched it on TV.
There we go. So
Good, yeah.
The
Masters was here, wasn't it?
The Masters was here, the British Masters. Right, so par 5 here. Plenty of room down the right. We're going to work on course management a little bit, and then particularly around the greens, see what we've got. Okay,
cool.
So.
Well, I'm in my 70th year, so I'm short and straight.
Yeah.
I play more and more like my father every year. And sadly, he's not here anymore, so.
Beautiful, little draw. Happy with that one, aren't you?
I am, yeah.
Right, a bit of long drive here, Clive. You've popped that out there, sneaky long there.
Yeah, all right. So what, about 8 iron in, do you think?
Right, we've got the wind quite heavy into off the right. You've got, we've got about 300 yards to go here. So this is where you've got to start thinking a little bit about.
I hit this club on every hole.
What you left in, what have you got?
It's like a 7-wood.
Yeah, okay, nice.
I hit this on every hole.
Okay, all right. Now, look at the pin.
Yeah.
So what do you think, which angle?
I'm going to aim at those bunkers.
Yeah, I love it.
So it's still quite hooky, isn't it?
Yeah, it is a bit. I mean, it's absolutely fine there.
I've got away with it.
You're going to have 80 yards in, but it's quite heavily into the wind.
So I'm a 100-yard shot, yeah?
Yes. Yeah.
Pitching wedge?
It's a pitching wedge. Now, in this situation here, this is a classic back pin position.
Yeah. Soft
Obviously
green.
on a back pin, soft green, but a back pin position, you don't want to go long, do you? You'd rather be 10 feet short than 10 feet long here. So factor that in a little bit in terms of the yardage. You might be looking more like a 95 number rather than 100.
Okay.
Go. Okay.
That's horrid.
It. Well, it was an awkward lie, to be fair. Do you want to have a go? I've got a spare ball. We'll do a spare ball.
I've got one.
Okay.
I've got a spare. Shall I just take one from a flat line?
Yeah, sure. What I quite like, though, is we've left ourselves about 40 in.
Oh, great.
So that's one to look forward to, right?
My favourite distance. I wouldn't say I was unfit, but I nearly pulled a calf muscle with that one. That's the shot.
So you've nailed that, but that's the problem. That's going to fly, I think. That's a pin high. It's a great shot. It's a brave shot to a
commentator or not? He said it was through the green, yeah? Yeah? We'll go and have a look. It's a shame it's 5.
Brilliant. You struck that, didn't you?
Again, first big break, Nottingham Forest, home and away.
Was it really?
Brian
Brilliant.
Clough in charge was the first manager I worked regularly with.
So what year would that have been then?
I started in 75.
They went when Forest were in Division 2 then?
Mid-table.
Yeah.
They went up in 77, won the title in 78, won the European Cup in 79 and 80.
Yeah.
Basically the same team.
It's incredible.
So
when they got promotion that year from Division 2,
they sneaked up.
But they sneaked up, that's right. And then when they got in Division 1, what talk, did anyone anticipate Forest would have a good season?
No. And by then, I was at a local radio station on Merseyside. So I did 18 months in Nottingham. So starting the new season, Liverpool had won the double and nearly the treble in 77.
They were the team, weren't they? They were the team.
Nearly the treble. Yeah. So I was doing the Everton game on opening day at home to Nottingham Forest. Little Forest.
Yeah.
Oh, you know, you do that game. I think Forest won 3-1.
Right, okay. Yeah.
Robertson and
John Robertson, amazing left wing, wasn't he? He was superb.
I think Peter With was still there then.
But they had that great
With
centre-back
Woodcock.
pairing, didn't they? They had
My best mate in sport, Martin O'Neill, was on the right.
yeah.
Little exclusive. You can't use this for a month or so. We'd start a podcast together, Martin O'Neill and I,
Okay, wonderful.
in May. Right, so I can play a full lob wedge, but let's not, eh?
Well, let's have a look at it. Let's look at it. The lie, it's a nice lie.
Yeah, really good.
It's a nice lie. We've got some wind.
Better than that for me.
Yeah, no, I agree. There's a bit,
Yeah.
there's a bit underneath it. We've got about 30 feet of green from the front to the back. It's slightly uphill, and the green is soft, and the pin's at the back. So I would not like to hit a full lob wedge into that pin.
No.
I know. I appreciate in your mind you're thinking, well, a full swing, I can manage that. But you're hitting a lob wedge into this probably 20-mile-an-hour wind, and then if you go a bit long, you've got a horrible shot.
It's not the right shot.
It's not the right shot. So what we're going to do? Can we try an extended version of the 9-iron that we did?
Certainly.
Okay, so it's going to be rather than going here, we're
or something a bit more, a pitching wedge or a gap wedge. No.
I think knowing how soft this green is at the front,
Cool.
I think 9's a club.
No, I don't know why. I changed my mind halfway through
You
there.
did change your mind. You look pretty good there. Now, let's try that again.
I became all wristy and.
Yeah.
So
This is in charge. All right. That chest. I just
Yeah.
focus totally on that chest turning to the target. Well
There you
done.
go.
Well done. Now look where you've ended up. You're facing it.
Yeah.
9-iron's working its way up to the pin.
Yeah.
That's a really good shot.
it's interesting where golf you always go back to the devil you know. Sometimes halfway
Yeah,
in the swing.
exactly.
And I did
Halfway
it the
down.
first time.
Yeah,
I
you
knew
did.
what I was wanting to do.
Yeah.
But I got to there and I thought, no, I don't know this.
Yeah, exactly. You look pretty good there. You were down and then you just kind of pulled out and it all went that way. Second one, your brain sort of overrode it and you've really worked on that rotation through.
Yeah.
And it's a lovely shot.
Yeah.
It's a safe shot.
It's a safe shot.
There was no hands in there.
It's a safe shot.
Okay, it's quite what I quite like about it. Don't get too negative if you hit a bad one. And when you come out and play friendly 9 holes on your own at Bearwood where you play, and you miss hit a shot, just put another ball down. Never go.
Yeah.
And if you can learn from it and your next shot's better, that means you're developing awareness. Now we've got the par 4 second here. Okay, this in the old days was the first hole in the British Masters. They had that as the 18th.
Okay.
And it's a great hole. It's a dog leg left, so it's going to suit your draw. It's 341 yards from here, but don't concern yourself with that. We've got a hard wind off the left, look. So it's just your straight ahead at the
big bushy tree.
and just turn it off that. Okay, normal swing.
Yeah. Let's see if I can get a bit more room. I'm going to experiment a little bit now and try and get a little bit more there.
A little bit more in front, and just as you strike the ball, keep turning.
Yeah.
Well, that's made it go the other way. We had some fade on that.
It was a better strike,
It
wasn't
was a better strike. Very good. Now, you just overdid that a bit, but that was the right idea. Let's do it again.
Yeah, it was almost a bit of a cut where I went to, but that was a better hit, wasn't it?
Yeah. I mean, drill-wise for you, full swing. If you do this, if you put the club into your belly down, you grip it down like this, and then go to the top of the swing. Okay, all the way to the top, so let your arms come out, all the way up to the top, and then come back down and just get the club back where it started. That gets your arms out in front of you. So your bad one would be this, you see. You go to the top, and then you would go this way.
Okay.
So you've got to practice here, and it's a good drill you can do at home, just to get the feeling of the arms in front more, and how the body turns.
What was interesting about that was, I mean, I haven't stretched out or anything, I've been driving, but I've got a real sort of pull in my calf. So I was obviously doing something that I don't normally do, which is great. I'll try it again. I didn't even see that. Go way right, did it?
No, you just clipped that branch there.
Oh, did it? Okay.
Yeah.
So there, yeah?
That's it, in front and turn as you hit it. Well, that's fantastic. I mean, you can't strike it better than that. That's down the right side, but it's absolutely, that's bulleted. And it didn't have any of that, it wasn't ducking, it wasn't coming down, it just stayed in the air, yeah.
So it's just to get to there and then go through.
I get it there and feel like your hands and arms are in front of you and then turn.
Great.
Really rotate through the ball.
Nice.
Don't get underneath with a low right shoulder.
I've been very lucky during the spell that I was in charge of England, or ITV were in charge of the England contract, so I did most of the games. The two of my closest friends in the game were manager of England during that spell. So both Roy Hodgson and Gareth Southgate are people that I'd call friends. So both of them were trusting in terms of discussing highly confidential information ahead of the game, which helped my preparation.
So things like team news and
and the other thing, if they were playing against a lesser known nation, then very few people outside of their camp would have watched as much of that nation than me, because I will have watched tapes, 4 or 5 games of Slovakia or whatever ahead of an England game. I'll have probably made contact with a commentator in Slovakia, so I'd have a bit of inside information myself. So in actual fact, the friendship that I really struck up with Gary Neville wasn't so much when he was a player, it was when he was working for Roy Hodgson, and his main task was analysis of the opposition.
Okay, right.
And actually, I probably knew as much as his analysts did about the opposition. I might even have had more of an insight into what team they were going to put out. So during that period when I had the honour privilege of commentating on the nation's team, and if you look at viewing figures, they're still the most popular team in England, as I'm sure the Scottish national team are in Scotland.
Huge figures, aren't they? World Cup games,
World Cup games. That semi-final against Croatia was close on 30 million people, you know. What did I do?
Let's try that again. You got a little bit active and quick from the top there. Okay, so we just need to calm that rhythm. I've given you the same lie there. So we're just going to be a bit calmer from the top there before you make that move.
Yeah, maybe because I'm trying to do something a bit different. Left foot back a bit.
Yeah, open that foot out. It's going to help you turn through the ball. That's fine. I mean, that's a lovely shot.
It's not bad, is it?
No, that's fine. And what I love is you've just missed the green to the right, which means we've got a little chip, Clive.
Okay. I might hit this one.
So when you're commentating in games like that...
Let me tell you why the Ryder Cup is the greatest sporting event in the world, right?
Go on.
Because sometimes,
I agree with you, by the way.
if I'm working a dinner or something, I'll start by saying, right, pretend I'm God, which is a bit of a stretch of imagination for most people. And I can make you a champion. I can make you the Open Golf champion, Wimbledon singles champion, gold medalist in the 100 metres at the Olympics, or I can make you a World Cup winner in football, rugby, cricket. Which would you prefer? Would you prefer to win as an individual, or would you prefer to win as part of a team? And it's usually about 50-50 the route. It's quite an interesting concept. And I call one a champagne moment. You win together, you spray each other with champagne. And I call the other a red wine moment. Because if you or I ever win the Masters, we'll have a lot of people to thank, our loved ones, our coach, our psychologist, our caddy. But there's only ever actually been 2 hands on the grip. You've done it. You've done it on your own. And so I think that's the finest bottle of Margaux in the clubhouse, and a little bit of peace and quiet after the media have gone home. And that's a red wine moment. The Ryder Cup is played by individuals. It's played by 2 hands on the grip guys. But they're not playing for themselves.
At the same time, they've still got the team.
They're part of a team. And that mix of the individual and team, I don't think there's another event like it.
That's why your opinion's so amazing over the years. They get the team thing. You know.
Yeah, I think we've got really good players. I think sometimes there's a concept that our team spirit and our bonding and our, all that. Really, really good players, by the way. That's why you win. Because there are still only 2 hands on the grip at every shot.
I think it was more in the 80s, wasn't it? When there was a big gulf, there was a huge gulf.
These
days it's pretty level.
The 83 Ryder Cup was the big turning point. When Jacqueline was in charge and he got everybody together, Seve came back into the team.
He had that famous 3.
Lost by 1 point, and they were gutted to lose by 1 point.
That was it. That's it. A nice move through to the target.
Okay, so that's a duff which has gone in the hole.
It does to about 3 feet.
Another one
That's good. Now, okay, I'm going to give you a slightly friendly lie this time.
The nice thing about this shot, though, is I haven't got that jeopardy that I've got with a chip shot where I'm going to blade it through and take 8.
What? I know you miss it that slightly.
Yeah.
There was no nervousness in it.
No.
There was no electricity in the hands. It was just nice and smooth.
Cool.
So that's fine.
wasted shots. Good practice shots are wasted shots. That's a better contact.
Yeah, that's great. You played that really well. That technically was brilliant.
No feel in that.
And what you've got to do and going forward as well is separate technique and feel.
Yeah.
Because they're totally different conversations. Technically, that was 10 out of 10.
Yeah, that's a much better shot than that
feel,
one.
Feel can improve.
Yeah.
But once you get your technique, the feel comes. So Clive, when you're commentating on England games, how do you not become a fan? Do you understand what I'm saying? Like in those big moments, are you able to separate yourself from the moment?
Yeah, I mean it's my job to do that.
Yeah.
I get more attached to people than I do to teams.
Oh, okay.
The most difficult game I've ever done in that sense was England-Iceland, because Roy Hodgson is a thoroughly decent, good man.
Yeah.
My wife and I have been out for dinners with Roy and Sheila. You can have a night with them and not talk football at all. He's a great company, great guy, very earnest and honest and thinking man.
Yeah.
And with 2 minutes to go, England were trailing 2-1, going out of the Euros. And I had a voice in my ear, my editor, who's a good friend, and he said, I know you know, Roy, but you're going to have to call this at the final whistle. He's got to go. Mm. And I got a little button where I can speak back to him without you hearing. And I did commentate at the 99 Champions League final, i.e. this isn't finished yet. England could equalise and the whole thing could change. Yeah. And sport can do that. Yeah. But it didn't. Yeah. Roy resigned pretty much before my sentence had finished. Okay. But I did say that his position as England manager was no longer tenable. Yeah. And it's that kind of, they're the difficult calls really, not so much suppressing emotion, because when a big goal scored and you've got the privilege of being a very small part of that goal for time in memoriam, my mentor, who was the late Reg Guttridge, a boxing commentator, always said, this is your moment, that you've now got to find words which will be part of this moment forever and a day. So you're thinking, you're concentrating, maybe even just taking a breath. If you listen back to those Sheringham and Solskjaer goals, I think I wait about 7 or 8 seconds before I say anything after calling the name. Yeah. And that's thinking time as to what comes next. What is this? What have we just seen? You know, everybody talks about Martin Tyler or Aguero. It's what he said next that makes it great. I swear you'll never see anything like this again. Yeah. That editorializing. Yeah. So you're actually thinking very hard, or you should be, at the biggest moments, because as Reg used to say, they deserve something better than amazing, fantastic, incredible. They deserve something unique to them. And so that's your concentration time. The more difficult times are when you're really feeling for somebody that you care about in the game and they're suffering. Yeah. And it's finding the editorial balance then to call what you're looking at, and actually be a little bit cruel to them, you know.
But that Champions League final, that must be one of the most dramatic, or the most dramatic. I mean, I remember you going to Solskjaer's won it.
You know, Dan, it really wasn't a very good game.
And Munich should have won. They should have been. They hit the bar, didn't they?
In the last 10 minutes. And Solskjaer has won it, breaks the biggest law of commentary, because I waved the winner across the line before they'd reached the line. Yeah. And if Bayern had gone down the other end and equalised, and it had gone to extra time and penalties, and the Germans would have won a penalty shootout back then, there would have been an effigy of me hanging from a lamppost in the Arndale Centre before the night was over.
But it was the last breath, wasn't it, of the game?
Yeah, I got it right, thankfully.
Yeah. Right, now we've got
wrong.
We've got a bit of movement on this one. Oh, Clive.
Where's it gone?
What a great putt.
It goes downhill at the end. It goes right downhill.
Fantastic. Well done. That's a really good putt. We like that one.
How good is he? You have to pick it out of the hole for me because I got a bad back. Thank you very much.
The iconic third hole here on the Duke. Probably one of the most famous par threes anywhere actually in the UK. It's only a short hole. It's about 120 yards, but it's straight downhill.
Wow.
Okay. And the pin today is at the front. Now the whole green is tilted violently this way.
Yeah, I'm not looking at the flag here at all.
No.
I mean, that's too close to, I don't want to be in that bunker. There you go, that's thin. That is really thin.
Turned over a little bit, we're in the bunker. That's
good. It's not a nice noise, that was it?
It's not a nice noise, it's that toe strike again. Right, so let's try that again. Go to set up the ball. We'll go to the top of the swing. Give you a feel here.
I mean, I'm not a long swinger, that's for sure.
Yeah, no, it doesn't need to be long. It just needs to be complete to where you can go to, right? Which is there for you, right? Now, as you're coming down, yeah, you want to feel like it's that way. Yeah. In your mind, you're going to try and hit a fade. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just feel like you're going to fade it a little bit, okay?
Okay. That's a better strike.
You move through the ball a lot better there.
That's much better, and that's straight too. It's long.
Oh, there you go. It's a wedge. Yeah, well, that's what you're going to get because you compressed it a lot better. You know, you've worked more this way onto it.
So much better that.
So you're delivering it. You're not flipping
it's just
it.
turn, isn't it?
Yeah,
You just give me a turn here.
Yeah, that's good. So yeah, if you're going to hit like that, it's a pitching wedge, isn't it? Now this is a test, right? Now,
Well, I think we're here somewhere. I mean, I think I'm only trying to
not
land the
even
ball
there.
here.
Yeah, but yeah, exactly. That anywhere between here and here with a good contact, I think will work its way down.
Okay.
Very, very, very good. That was exactly the noise we want. It's feeding down there. Go on, ball. Now in summer, that would have got all the way there.
Was that a bit risky?
It was a little bit, but we needed a bit there. Now,
Okay.
I didn't tell you that before the shot because I know you sort of see wrists as a bad thing, but in some shots you need them.
Okay.
Particularly because you had a bit of a tuff behind the ball there. And because you had that tuff, I said, right, go more left. Now, by going more left, you see, will encourage the wrist to happen more.
Okay.
Here. So that was a good thing. So you needed a bit of wrist there. This will be what I call release 2. I know you've got not release 2 in the book yet, but release 2 is where we're going to go, you know, more this way. You needed that. That ball came off really well, and I think that was the biggest test you've had yet because you know how quick that is.
Yeah,
and you had to be perfect there. It was thin there. I mean, you'd have been way down on the pathway.
Yeah. It's fast.
Yeah, I mean, your line was bang on, wasn't it? Do it again. Your line was absolutely bang on. You hit that leaf, but yeah, you hit it a bit there.
I did.
You've got a dead weight. So if we're talking about,
it was faster than I thought.
we're talking about where the hole is. This is the hole.
Yeah.
This is your hole.
Yeah, it was much faster than I thought.
Yeah, there you go. Classic look to camera, love it.
I don't mind that, you know. I'm going to lose it. But
It's the opposite to the bad one, isn't it?
yeah, it's a good contact, isn't
Yeah,
it?
let's go again. It was square,
Much
yeah.
better
Yeah.
contact. Oh, it's the same. It's a shame, isn't it?
Okay, that's fine, right.
Just feel like it's coming off the end
Yeah.
of the club rather
Yeah,
than.
that's fine. Let's try that again. Just release the arms a little bit more. So let the arms release with the body. Don't just open up and leave the arms behind. That's the arms release with the chest.
That's the boy. Just got to attack it a bit more.
Well,
haven't
it's got to sync up, hasn't it?
I? Yeah,
you know,
I just hit that harder.
Yeah, exactly. You've got to commit to it and absolutely move through it. Yeah.
Great. Put up.
Good. Right.
So
okay.
I can't reach, can I?
You can't.
Let me lose my own.
Go back to your own ball. Yeah. Right. So
Could
you reach? You'd have to hit your absolute Sunday best here. You're talking. It's about 190.
Ooh.
But you'd have to move it 30 yards right to left.
Oh, I can't do that. So, how far's the bunker, you think?
Your bunker's going to be 140. So I would like you to play here. This is where, if I was counting it, I would absolutely say, let's break that number into 2. We've got 190, and if you want it, we want sort of a 190 shot, don't we? Or a 120 and a 7. However you want to break that down.
A good 7-iron is like 135, yeah?
Okay, so that's then going to leave you 60 yards or so.
That's a good one, though.
It's uphill. It's uphill. It's uphill. It's going to cost you 10 yards with the slopes.
Yeah. That's nearly just a little bit heavy.
It's just a little
Wasn't
snatchy.
terrible, that.
It's a little snatchy. It's not. Hasn't cost us the hole.
Good.
So let's just have one more though, just to practice.
Yeah,
that.
we'll do. So there and there.
Keep moving through it. Nice and smooth going back. See,
Nearly.
That's a good strike. That's fine.
Nearly.
A little bit open in the
Just a
face.
slightly open face, wasn't it?
It's fine. That's no problem at all. For your sort of team sheets where you, before the game, you prepare, and I've seen pictures of these where, I mean, the neatness of the handwriting and the colouring and So why do you do those essentially? Obviously preparation, but talk us through, have you always done it?
Yeah, there are two elements to them. Most commentators do them. Obviously in 21st century, you're more likely to compile a Word document than you are to write it out. I stole the idea really from the late John Motson, but you develop your own because you need to know where the information is at that split second. Every time you look down at your notes, you're not watching the game. We all know how football can change in a second. So anybody can do research. How you use your research, the kind of editorial, the journalism that Reg Guttridge taught me, so that you're not boring the viewers with information that you've researched so they're bloody well going to hear it.
Yeah.
That's the skill, if there is such a thing. And then I think the second thing is just, it's like a psychological prop. If you look down just before Mark Pugac or Laura, whoever, hands to me, and your notes are there, and they're neat, and they are concise, and they're comprehensive, it's a bit of a comfort blanket. You just, some people say, oh, you've got them there if it's a bad game, or there's quite, no, it's nothing to do with that. It's just about feeling confident, feeling that you know more about this game and the backdrop to it than anybody who's watching or listening.
Yeah.
And if you've done that amount of preparation, you've only got yourself to blame if you mess up.
It's like anything, you just got to be prepared, whether it's playing golf, whatever, you've got to be prepared.
Yeah.
Give yourself the best chance. And you still write them out to this day?
Yeah, and interestingly, during the first lockdown, Chris Stark is a good friend who's just starting golf, funnily enough.
Yeah.
And he's a big Watford fan. And he asked me for a Watford chart. They won a famous playoff semi-final in the last minute at Vicarage Road. And I said, yeah, you can have it. And he said, no, I want to buy it. I said, well, you can't buy it. I said, I want to keep the originals. He said, you should sell those. So we started off with my wife ordering 12 frames from Amazon. We used 4 games for 4 Champions League finals, I think, that I'd commentated on. And I've got a friend who's a printer, and he did a kind of reproduction of a précis of these notes in exactly the same style. And so we had 12 frames. We've sold over 30,000 now.
Wow, it doesn't surprise me. What a gift.
Yeah, and they're a strange gift because they don't tell you anything about the game. So, for instance, the 99 Champions League final, which I always talk about, Sheringham and Solskjaer are just 2 names down at the bottom amongst the substitutes. And if it's hanging there in your office or your downstairs loo or whatever, this is a snapshot of kickoff. These are the lineups, goals scored, ages, a little bit of information, a little bit of backdrop, managers and all that kind of information. And then you add your own story. If somebody looks at it, you say, you never guess where I was when that game, you never guess what, I turned the TV off with 5 minutes to go, or whatever your story is. You add your story to the setup, really, which is what I've got in front of me at kickoff. So commentarycharts.com.
Yeah.
Your team will be on there. We've got over 80 games, 50 odd teams.
It's a great gift.
Yeah,
I mean, yeah. Lovely.
No, I'm just getting them a bit heavy, aren't I?
Yeah.
Bit armsy, bit
Yeah.
sort of chicken wingy.
It's okay. So you're moving better. Let the arms release with the body.
Yeah,
Okay.
probably what I did on the last one. Just hit it
Let
harder,
it
really.
go, yeah.
Do I need a little bit more of that or not?
No, don't think about that. Don't think about that. If you move your body correctly, you'll get the correct lag. But that's nice. Now you've moved. Look where you finished. That's
Yeah,
the key.
much high.
So that's good, and that's pin high. That's pin high. Look, it's a great shot. It's a great shot. It's
Yeah.
close
And
to
even
the
that, I didn't.
No, not
nail.
absolutely, but because you move better.
Absolutely, yeah.
squared it
I know,
up.
you give me, and I've got that calf strain thing again, which is
moving
good.
differently, yeah.
Do you want
All
me
right,
to put
good.
these back? You're right.
I'll do it. Nice shot.
Okay.
Nice shot.
It's a little bit heely, but
Yeah, but it's a nice shot. You moved. So I think when you get to, we were talking 40 yards now. It's coming back now. Bit of local knowledge there. Now 40 yards. When you get to this sort of distance, you've got to allow yourself. The weight is forward, but you have to open up this way. Wonderful, wonderful. Don't move. Stay there. Enjoy it. Enjoy the shot. Enjoy the shot. That's as good as it gets. And look how it's all connected. Okay. Memories like those. That's what you need. Okay. It rewires the brain.
jolly good.
Okay.
Better putt now, haven't I?
Yeah. Well, you're lethal from that distance. Pace is great. Your pace is amazing. You just sung it out that side of it. You see, it goes the other way.
Turning, doesn't it?
Right? Great pace. Go a bit straighter this time. But your pacing was fantastic. And you take that. That's 5 feet. That's all right.
Yeah.
Just go straighter. Diet here, but straighter.
Didn't believe my caddy.
That's great, Pat. Go on. Go on.
Just go straight.
Feed down, straighten up. Just fantastic. Great touch.
As you say, it goes left.
It's a great touch. Oh, wow, it does move, doesn't it?
I think that's hit something. They did a little bit of that.
That did move. Put it down to Winter Golf. But listen, that was great. So, Clive, we'll leave it there.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
It's been brilliant having you out on the course.
Thank you very much.
Some really clear bits to work on.
I have, yeah.
And it's been great hearing
another 8 years, I'll be a golfer.
But it's been great hearing your stories, and you've been so instrumental in so many of our lives, listening to you through the TV, and you've got so much joy to everyone. So thank you for that, and enjoy the rest of your golf.
That's very kind. Thank you. Thank you very much indeed.